All right, that was pretty quick from the old Telstra 4. Let me just adjust this, guys. I am live. And I realized why I wasn't sticking so well either. It was because I had a sticker on the back of the mobile. It was the serial number and everything like that. So I've taken that off, and I think that's going to fix things. So it's just saying rotate device. I don't know if that's obscuring your vision, everyone, but I'm going to keep it like this because I'm about to drive. So let's do some Forex talk. So, all right, so I've been scanning the charts obviously this morning, and to be honest, I haven't seen too much in regards to setup. So the Aussie dollar did have a nice little bounce. The RBA held rates, and I think there was some stuff out of the China US situation as well with the trade wars, and that was semi-positive from my understanding. I don't really follow the fundamentals though, so I'm not too sure. I don't really know what that guy was doing. Anyway, so look, Aussie dollar had a bit of a rally, nothing exciting, and the euro, everything sort of bounced a little bit. And what I'm waiting for is everything to calm down a little bit, especially the pound. The pound has some potential, and I'm looking at that as a potential sell trade. So if you bring that chart up, obviously I don't have it up. I'm driving right now, but I had a look at it probably 2 minutes ago, and it looks like it is fading again. The concern is, and I've illustrated this in my watch list on Sunday, and I did one on Monday as well, is that the recent lows that it's had these past weeks have been right on support. So the concern that I would have is you've really got to let it break down through there and hold there, and then if it just dips below, you really want to push further away, because there is a possibility of a fake out. I'm really good at getting involved in those. I get a little bit too eager, and I need to just pump the brakes a little bit and wait for the setup to really prove itself. Now, Euro Aussie as well. So the Euro Aussie is a potential one too. Now, what I'll say about that is it's sort of similar. It doesn't actually have any support though. It's just holding. So it broke down yesterday, and Connor, my trading buddy, he got involved in that trade. So I think he was watching it on the 4 hour. It sort of boxed up a little bit, and then it broke down, and it was actually a pretty good trade. So that's more of a swing trade thing though. I'm not really, when I'm talking about setups right now, I'm not really talking about day trading anything. I'm not at that stage where I had the 5 days off, and last week where I have my full-time trading week, and I'm still developing my skill set with the 15-minute time frame. So there is some potential. The most potential I saw was the Aussie dollar trade, and TSS brought that up as well in his I think he did a video yesterday. I'd really strongly recommend you guys check his channel out. It's got like a sailing boat in the thing. If you actually search for TSS, I've got a link in the description. Not in this video, but it will be in the previous video. But please, just go check him out. He really gives some good feedback on, especially the euro, with, people just getting into the euro a bit too early. And, a little while ago, I'd have been keen to short the euro, but where it is currently, and it bounced, you've just got to be aware that will happen quite easily. So for it to really break down through that current support where we've seen it try to break through a few times, you're going to have to see a decent news event. And there's just no, there's just no news event. So, I mean, the euro is just steady in regards to the whole economy that currency represents. So, and the US dollar it's interesting. It's a little stronger against the USD yen, but not that significant enough to go and say it's a potential trade. It's quite an interesting little scenario. And then the pound bounced as well, but now it's sort of coming back to where it was Monday. So definitely, stuff to worth watching, but there's no A-grade setup for me. Like, really, how I do it is I'll enter on the 1 hour, on a 1 hour print of a candle, either a buy or a sell, and I want to see it trending on the 4 hour. And it can't be, obviously, for a seller, it can't be right up against support, and for a buyer, it can't be right up against resistance. And there's really nothing there. So I mean, the only thing, if I had to say something, would be the pound. So the pound there is something there, and there's obviously Brexit chatter. There's a lot of uncertainty right now there. Will they leave? Will they stay? I think it's March. End of March is the deadline, from my understanding. Everything fundamental, guys, do not refer to me for exact things. I'm more of a technical trader. I am trying to learn more about, fundamentals, because they do play a significant role, especially economic events on the calendar, like, announcements and things like that regarding, NFP and FOMC, and how to sort of read those events a little bit better instead of entering before them. And because it is tough, because with my 1 hour entries, the stop losses are a little bit tighter. So and from my back testing, it is positive expectancy. The concern is, though, that the win rate's about 45%, which, is not the end of the world. You just have to understand, when you are in a winning position, you have to hold it. So when you're back testing, you can get through a trade in a matter of seconds. You just hold down the space bar and, it will print candles rapidly. But in real time, it's just a little bit more, it's a patience thing. And also, if you are really stressed, normally that means you're risking too much money. So I really don't find it stressful anymore. So, obviously I'm not trading with a lot of money, but it shouldn't really make any difference. Like, if you are struggling, then either trading's not for you and you value money too much, because you have to put money at risk to make money in trading. You can't just sort of pluck trades out of thin air that win, and that's just not how the game works. So that might be something to consider, that trading isn't for you. But yeah, so look, definitely I need to be picky, because really, in reality, it's just, I need to be picky, so. And currently I'm not so picky. I don't know what this guy's doing. We're going to get around him. He's really struggling. Everyone's struggling today. When it rains a little tiny bit in Perth, it's just like, everyone's just like, how do I drive? Where am I? Yeah, so Euro Aussie is, look, if I had to pick one out of Euro Aussie and the pound, but the pound does have a better catalyst, but the Euro Aussie, it did break down quite a bit yesterday, which is a good sign. If something breaks down on a Monday, typically what will happen for the rest of the week, the move will be the opposite of that. And I've seen that time and time again. So you've got to be a little bit cautious of that, and just, keep that in mind. So yeah, the pound does have the better catalyst. Euro Aussie, I mean, that's sort of neutral. I'm not, the Aussies actually, it's strengthened a little bit Tuesday as well, but it was strange. Like, there was a breakdown on it. You bring up the 4 hour chart, and there was a nice little print of a bearish candle there. And what I'm referring to with the bearish candle is, you see, if you do bring the chart up, it closed quite near its low, which is good. You want to see that. So, and it did bounce and things like that. But if you are a swing trader, you need wide stop losses. You need wide stop losses. You need patience, and you need to back test extensively just to see it all pan out. If you can't really deal with that, but it's a weird thing. You sort of want to give it a bit of time. Like, if you try a system and it's like 10 trades, you're like, oh, I hate this. That's sort of an insignificant amount of time to give it, true justice to see if the system is effective. But I understand, certain personalities are always going to go towards day trading. But, with day trading, you can make money very quickly, but you can lose money very quickly. So if you are starting, and I had a gentleman call me this morning. I did miss the calls in the shower, but I'll send you this video. Chasing quick money is destructive, to be honest, because you don't really want to think about making money to begin with when you first start learning to trade. I understand that sounds very counterintuitive, because you want to make money. That's why you want to start learning about trading, but you have to focus on learning a system effectively, learning price action, support and resistance, very much so support and resistance, and again, learning to read price action. I just said that, but that's like double important. And then back test, forward test, and then go into the live markets with a small account. So really, when you're trading well, when you feel like the live account is just the exact same feeling as a simulator. You're like, oh, I see that setup, take it. Risk management, everything's the same because you've forward tested using a simulator. And all the brokers will give you a simulator. I use Oanda. I like Oanda because for a small account, that is, you can set exact unit sizing. So the units, it's like a nano lot. It's if you have a $1,000 account, you can risk exactly $10. So that's reality with that, which is good because you want to follow your risk management with what you back tested with and forward tested. You don't want to sort of go in and go, oh, I can't get my risk exactly right. Well, I wouldn't tolerate that, to be honest, if it's a small account, because that's not trading. Again, it shouldn't be about making money. So it's saying the rotate device is locked. So hopefully you guys haven't just seen that blurring in your face there. But just a quick little discussion on what I'm looking at, just in case if I can't make a video tonight, because I've got a few things on tonight after work. So I'm working today. Just as the weather starts turning, I'm driving into work, so that's great. But yeah, Euro Aussie as a short, to me, now I really think about it as more compelling than the pound. The pound is just going to have to do so much work to get through that support level. That's my main issue. So can it? Yes, but this whole week, what I see, if I was to make a call this week, it's just going to bounce around and go sideways. Unless there's a dramatic announcement made by Theresa May or someone like that, where it's just like, oh, it's going to be a hard Brexit. We're going to stick in, this and that, and just like some ugly dialogue. But I don't see that happening because it sort of seems that they're leaning towards another vote. That could probably happen because there's a lot more headaches than they thought, and it seems maybe community sentiment on the whole thing is not so positive. But again, who knows what politicians will do? Who knows what will happen? But I'm just saying it needs a significant catalyst to really bust through that support level. That's all. But it's interesting how it's turning back again. So it didn't really, it had a bit of a rally. It did. But now it's turning back again for another retest. So I sort of wanted to make this video to highlight that. And it's, worth a look. And the same for the Euro Aussie as well. There's some potential there. How much? Well, the entry was there, but now it's no longer present. So it's one of these things where I'd still wait. I'd continue to wait for it to prove itself. And right now it's sideways. So it's sort of holding where it was previously with that breakdown of that nice bearish candle. And you want to let it prove itself to you again. Now it's good really, when you're learning to have a job. You don't want to start to learn to trade and, you don't want to be too engrossed in the charts straight away, because you really want to start on the higher time frames. You do not want to start on like the 5 minute, especially if you have a small account. Your broker is not going to take care of you. Slippage and execution and the spreads on some of the more exotic pairs, you won't know that because you have no experience. So you've just got to understand that, and then you've got the high frequency traders to deal with, the algo traders to deal with, well, the algo bots, sorry. So they can get in a lot quicker than you, and they'll be in before you. And it's, you just have to be a little bit wise to it. I listened to a very interesting audiobook. I'm big on audiobooks because honestly, I don't have time to sit down and read a book. I'll listen to an audiobook when I'm doing stuff. So that's just how it is with my life these days. I just don't have time to sit down and just, whenever I have free time, I'm sitting down and looking at the charts or back testing or, monitoring the US equities or the ASX stuff. So that's where it is. But I listened to Dark Pools. I forgot the guy who wrote it, but if you just look up Dark Pools on Audible, I use Audible. There'd be other sources. To really interesting book. It was a big eye-opener on really how, the real wealthy institutions operate and the banks. And, if you want to be a day trader with Forex and the higher price stocks, they don't seem to dabble with the low float stocks, but it was quite informative to hear that. And, always be learning though, guys. Like if there's a slower time in the market, just, continue to learn. Don't just sort of go, it's all too hard, But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap the video up now. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.